So the last thing I wanted to talk about here was what if you were still really confused about the -3 or the +1? Some students still think, oh, they forget that this is on these -3 are on the subtraction side. And so one last thing that you can do just to make sure that you're always clear, one thing that I think is a good move is to make sure that all tiles do keep, change, and all go up to the positive side. So if you do that, really this is 0 minus 3 is the math here, and this is 0 plus 1. And so what we're going to do is we're going to change that math to when you do 0 plus -3 or 0 minus +3, sorry. When you change it, you're actually changing it to 0 plus -3. And now if you really know, like you definitely have to know that +1 is higher than -3. So 0 plus -3 is not as big as 0 plus +1. That's just the case. Okay. Okay, guys, so here's a summary of everything that we're supposed to know from 215. So let's see, we're going to start with, so this is a summary of our simplifying steps. So I put these as step 1 through 5, but really there's actually an extra step, which is actually being able to write down the equations. So simplifying steps here. Hang on, let me get this written down first. My brain doesn't think that way. So I'm actually going to start with original equation. So my original equation, or my original expression, maybe expression's a better word. These are actually expressions. Equations have equal signs. These don't have equal signs. So my original expressions here are, when I look at this side over here on the left, I see that there is an x, and it is on the addition side, so I'm going to write x. And then because it's on the addition, other things that are on the addition side are also being added. There is 2, so x plus 2. And then there's -2, so I'm going to say x plus -2. And then down here on the subtraction side, you can see that there is minus, and then what's down there is a +3. So then on the other side, I'm going to write what I have. I have an x again on the positive side, and then also being added to that up here on the plus side are 2. So I'm going to do +2. And then over here, there's -3. So I'm also going to do plus -3. And then down on the bottom, I have minus. It's on the minus sides because it's on the bottom, minus -1. So the next thing that I am going to do is I'm going to do keep, change. I think this is the very first thing that you should do once you write the expression. Keep, change. And what keep, change does, I'm actually going to create a little more space for myself here. What keep, change does is it converts subtraction of negatives to an equivalent, and that's the important part, equivalent subtraction, equivalent addition of the opposite. And vice versa. So what that means is I'm going to take, when I subtract these negatives here, it is going to be the same as the addition of the opposite. I know that subtracting negatives is the same as adding positives. So I'm going to make these positive up here on the top. And what that does in my math equation is it changes this from x plus 2 plus -3 minus -1. It's going to actually change it to plus +1. So now my equation has actually changed. It's an equivalent expression from x plus 2 minus 3 minus -1 to plus +1. That is my first step. I like changing everything to addition. I think it just simplifies this. A lot of students forget that we're subtracting on the bottom. On the other side, I'm going to take these positives that are being subtracted, and I'm going to change it to adding negatives. So what that's going to do is that puts these on the top. So all of the tiles on the bottom are now gone, but this is going to change this to, instead of subtracting positive 3, it's going to change it to adding negative 3, and that positive is going to go away there. So this will turn into x plus, you know what, I'm gonna not show this. Is going to change it to x plus 2 plus negative 2 plus negative 3. So now everything is being added. I think that's a really good first step to do.